Ed's boat, and it is a beautiful day. A little bit breezy, but the sun is out, and wow, is it hot. So what else you do on a day like this? Well, you get in your boat and you go out on a bit of a cruise. So what I needed to do was a longer journey just to test everything. So what I've done is we hopped in the boat, packed the family up, and we headed off to Hawkesbury Junction, which is where I am now. And it's a beautiful place. It's very, very busy today though. People absolutely everywhere because the rugby's on as well. But I thought we'd come here and have a look round. It's not as busy boat-wise as I thought it would be, but yeah, busy enough. So I'm going to do a bit of gongoozling and watch the boats go through the lock, see if I can pick up any tips, and just film a bit of the journey today. I was quite interested in watching this boat try and make the turn all in one go, and for a moment I thought he was actually going to do it. But he had a little dab of reverse halfway, but I thought it was quite a good effort for such a long boat. Well, we finished at Hawkesbury Junction. We've had a bite to eat, watched a few boats go through the lock and turn. Nothing else to do now than just head home with the sun really beating down on my neck, and I can really feel it burning. But how many opportunities this spring will I have to do this sort of thing? I don't know. It's forecast to be horrible tomorrow, so it's a good job we did it today. Anyway, we'll just head back to the marina now, but heading back to the marina takes 2.5 hours. This is Starline Boats at Boot Wharf, and this is where my journey started. Originally my boat was up on the hard standing there behind where that grey private boat is, and I had to move on because they were building houses, and it doesn't look like they've built many houses so far. Charity Dock at Bedworth. Now some people think that this is an eyesore and it's just a horrible scrapyard and it's where boats go to die. But I quite like the place. I always have a slow down and a look in when I pass by, and I find it very interesting. So I'm one of the people that actually like Charity Dock. It always bothers me when I see old wooden working boats sat sunk on the side of the canal rotting away. I think this one is beyond repair. Wonder what stories it could tell though. Now it's just a playground for geese. Okay, we're back after a trip out yesterday, 5 hours in 2 hits of cruising. And we needed to have a look and see what the engine was doing, but more importantly, lessons learned. When the sun is out, put sun cream on your face. I am so red today, it is unbelievable. We'll have a look inside the engine because I had a bit of blue smoke coming out when the engine got particularly hot. So we need to have a quick look and just investigate that everything's okay. So when I turn around, there's the engine. Now the only evidence I can see of anything that might have got hot is obviously the exhaust manifold there. Now this one has been painted with some sort of engine enamel which will have some sort of rating for temperature, but I'm guessing it's not going to cope with exhaust temperatures very well. But more importantly, I don't think it's designed to run at a hot temperature or a really hot temperature for any length of time. So I think what's been happening is, because I was pushing a headwind on the way to Hawkesbury junction, I had the engine revs up just a bit higher, that paint got a bit hot. There you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a coloured difference between the engine paint and the exhaust manifold. It's gone sort of golden, so I'm guessing that the blue smoke was just that paint burning off, which is no big deal really. The other thing is I didn't have my deck boards up all the way, so the engine got a little bit too hot, but I ended up lifting one of the boards up just to let the fan blow the hot air out the side, and that seemed to settle it down. But as it got a bit hot, I just throttled it back a little bit. Didn't seem to make a lot of difference to the speed, but it did cool the engine quite considerably. But then again, it was a particularly hot day, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, but I'm not too worried. I mean, I've had a look around the engine, I can't see anything of any great concern, other than if I go right the way down to the front of the engine, there's some evidence of a little, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but a little weep of oil just down the side where that red panel is. It's only really slight. For 5 hours cruising, we're only looking at a couple of drops here, but I don't know. I don't think it was that causing the blue smoke. I think it was more than likely the exhaust manifold. But we'll keep an eye on it anyway. But at the moment, I'm not too worried. The prop shaft, if I look down at the prop shaft down there, that's stayed nice and cool as well. We've given it a quick clean up and got rid of all the excess grease and this sort of thing, just to make sure that it's all smooth and right and everything's good. Nothing's come loose. So in a 5 hour run, in 2 hits obviously, but a 5 hour run all in, you know, it performed pretty well. I've been in and had a look at the propeller as well, and that's nice and clear. So yeah, hopefully that's okay. So we'll probably do another test run of a few hours again, just to double check everything once I've made a few modifications to the cooling of the engine, and then hopefully that will be all I need to do for a little while in the engine. Well, hopefully, but we'll see. Well, I think that trip went quite well, all things considered. And yes, I did get my face quite burnt, but hopefully by the next episode that'll be a bit more in proportion back to what I usually am. So a word of warning to everybody: when out narrowboating, get your sun cream on your face. It's important. You will pay the price later on, like I have. Anyway, it's worth mentioning that a fellow YouTuber dropped by to say hello. He mentioned me on one of his videos and I missed him, but he had a return journey, came back down the Coventry Canal and popped in yesterday to say hello. Guy's called Neil, and he has a YouTube channel called Summer Wine Narrowboat Stories, and that's video footage of him travelling the canal networks. I think he's just come back from the Ashby Canal. Worth a trip, particularly if you like a little bit of classical music. So thank you very much for dropping in, Neil. It was a pleasure to meet you. Right. At the moment, I'm sitting inside the boat on quite a sunny day today. It's a bit chilly in the air, but it's quite a sunny day. And we are designing kitchens. Look at that. It's not something I usually would have a talent for, but we've got to do it anyway. So now we've got to go out and find out what sort of kitchen units are available and pick a design and style and stuff like this. I think I'm going to go down some flat pack units and we'll just install those. And then we'll pick the worktops and all this sort of thing another day. There's still a bit more work to do in preparation for putting the kitchen units in, or the kitchen in full stop. I've got to drill some holes and do some fixing and this, that and the other. We will cover that a bit more in the next episode. So there's only one more thing to do, and that is to say take care, and I'll see you soon.